Today we're back with a budget build because we've got this. So the last time we saw this, I was left a little disappointed because we couldn't get it to run 100% how I wanted to. So I went out and bought one of these. Now I've got to say, do look round for them. This one has come again like it's been kicked from China. Do look round for them. This is the Dumbo DDF350, which is compatible with the Dumbo 3-in-1. And you can also get micro and mini receivers for them. Now I've got to be honest, I have taken it out of the box because of the state of the box, and I've been messing about with it. But we'll just have a quick look at the box. Let me bring you back a little bit. It's a big box. So that's the front of the box. The side, which shows you the different configurations. So this is the side I haven't got anything on. So that's the foam hand wheel, metal hand wheel, which a lot of people have got, but you pay more for that. It's got the different gyros on that side. Back of the box, which shows you what it does. That side of the box. So this is the one I've got. I've got a foam hand wheel, and it's got a meta inside, I think, with the micro receiver P4, I can't even read, P4MG. Not a lot comes in the box. The receiver is in there, the micro receiver, but we're not going to use that today. And there's the radio. And we're bringing the car back in. Now see if we can get you so that we can see both things, which could be a bit tricky.
A few minutes later.
Now we've got you back, it's all turned on, sort of got the car in focus, but we're mainly looking at the radio. These are relatively cheap, but for the cost, it's got a lot of features. I mean, you can put 10 models on it, it's 10 channel, got all sorts of different things that you can adjust, your dual rates, your throttle curves, your steering curves and all that sort of thing. There's loads of videos on this, so I'm going to just go through what I've been doing with this. So to get into the menus, you push the on button. You've got your general menu, model menu, transmitter settings, receiver settings. So on the general menu, I keep pushing it because I've got a Noble, so I keep going like it's a touch screen. You've got your different, basically your trim settings on all your channels, whether it's normal or reverse. I've reversed channel 1 because it was the wrong way round. You've got your endpoints. So on this one, let's just have a quick look at this one. Got a light right in the way there. I've adjusted the endpoints on the servo. I've reduced my throttle endpoint on forward to 50. So basically reduce the dual rate in effect. And then the gyro is 100 to 100. Now I did try that with 0 to 100, but it didn't make any difference. It still read the whole width. So the way the gyro in the 3-in-1 works is 0 all the way to 100. Now on some gyros, some posher gyros, at 50% or the 0 point, you've got one side of it is slow return, the other side of it is fast return, but this one hasn't got that. We've got double ratio, whatever that means. You can do all sorts of things with this. It's a bit sub trims, which we've looked at already, aux channels, key type, all sorts of different things that you can do on that I don't really know. You can change which channel is which, but this is set to channel 5 by default. Model menu, cruise control, different modes. So you can have it in mode 1 or mode 2. There's 10 menus on this. Steering curve, throttle and brake curve, which I don't generally adjust. Gyro mix, that means it's on. This one's for doing your winch, if you've got a winch on it. So it's got all sorts of, like you'd see on a much higher end, like on my Noble, you'd see all this on it as well. Program return, program mix, and servo swing control, whatever that means. But the one we want to look at, transmitter settings, you can change your model. So there's 10 models in there, so you can change it for different cars. So in effect, you could have model 1 being your new drift car, or if you've got the original FLD with the Dumbo electronics in it, you could put that as model 2 or vice versa, and then you can add models to that. Coaching model, I don't know what that means at all. Sound settings, I've turned the beep off every time you push it. Got auto off. Battery type you can change because you can put a LiPo in it if you want to do that. The one we want a specific look at is the receiver setting. So it's RF protocol is normal. This is the one we want because this is the control for the gyro in the 3-in-1. So you can see it's set on, I said it was channel 5, it's actually set on channel 8, but it works on the rotary dial on here. So you can see if I dial that, it changes the percentage, the sensitivity percentage. Then you've got two other settings. I think PCA is preferred control assist. Now on 0, you've got full control of the gyro. If you put it on 100, the gyro overrides your inputs. So say if you're transitioning, the gyro will override what you're doing on the wheel. So I've got that set to 0. I've tried various different things, but 0 seems to be the best, even if you put it on 20 or 30 for this particular servo. Then we've got AGS, which is the anti-glitch system. Now this is the one that we were struggling to adjust. So I'll show you what that does. So on 100 at the minute, I think this is more servo related now, and I'll tell you why in a second. But if I turn that down, so we scroll through the menus, click on it so that it selects it, and then if I turn it all the way down to 0, so it comes 0 by default actually. So we get that, and as you turn it up, so we get what we had before, but as you turn it up, it reduces that. Now, I have tried it on lower settings, but what seems to work on the wooden floor that I use is 100. Now, the other thing that we've got on here, you can set your endpoints, you can set FS, which I did try to do, that fail safe. So that's a fail safe, which we don't want, because if it went out of range, it would fail safe onto a particular thing. Got gyro on and off. As you can see, I tried to push it. And then we got phase, which is reversed. So if it's the wrong way round, you can click phase. Then the other thing that we've got on here is rudder speed. Now this is the servo frequency. So it's set on 67 Hertz. If I turn that up, so that will change. You can see we've got the jitter in again. So that's like for putting different servos in. I tried 50 Hertz. That was about the same, I think. A little bit better, but not too much. And then you've got 300, which is very jittery. So it's like when we were setting it up before, it's like digital and analog, but this has got more settings on it. So you can, the different ones. So 50 is the lowest Hertz. So I went to 67, which seemed to work. So we've got much more adjustability on that than we did have from the stock Dumbo receiver from the FLD. So we've now got it so that we're not too jittery, which is a big improvement to what we had it before. Still, I can only run, the sweet spot on this is around 17 or 18% on the sensitivity, which isn't great, really. I would want a little bit higher. Let's give it a run, see what it's like, because I do have something else to try. So we're back again. Now, that was better. We use the same course, so it's the 8880 course that we use there, and it is better. But I still feel like I'm fighting the gyro, and it's not very smooth. So now my next thought is that it's servo related. Okay, we could upgrade the electronics completely, but my next trial is a new servo. So this isn't the really expensive servo. This is a TG, as you can see. So this is sort of mid-range. So this one was $12. This one I think is $30. And then if we were to go up the next level to a programmable servo, that would be around $60. So we're in the middle with this one. So I'm going to try a mid-range servo and see what that does. So let's get cracked on and get it in the car. So that took a little bit longer than expected. Had a few challenges there. We had so the first thing was the servos had slightly different length. So you have to adjust your servo points, which is a little bit tricky on this because the bolt's underneath the ESC. Then we had the AFRC servo horn, doesn't fit this one. So you need a 25 tooth, 4.9mm diameter servo horn. So I'd get that when you order it, unlike myself. So I luckily enough, I had from one of my posher servos, I had a load of servo horns, so I could just put it on from that. Then we've had to reset all the endpoints and everything. So I'll just go through, it's made a huge difference just changing the servo. So we're going to exactly the same setting that we had it, the gyro setting. So you go into receiver. Some of the menus are a little bit long-winded. So now all of a sudden, I don't know if we can see this, we can set it to 300 Hertz and it's stable. So it's not jittering about like it was. PCA is still on 0 because I don't like it with any percentage on that at all. Sensitivity, now we're on, I can go up to about 35, but I like it. I've had a little drive and it seems to be best at about 26. And we've reset the endpoints, both on the gyro and on the car. So we can bring that up. So we've got quite good steering on the car. It's still a bit what I would call grainy. So once you've sent your endpoints on the radio, what you need to do is you need to set your endpoints on the gyro. So the way you do that, and I keep going to touch it, but you can't do it, it's not a touch screen. So you turn the gyro off, go to set gyro endpoints, click on that, then you go full left, wait for it to flash, you can see it in the background, full right, wait for it to flash, center, and then it flashes, and that's your gyro endpoint set. So I think now we've got it sorted, what we'll do is give it a drive and see how it goes. So that's loads better. That's like having a different car. So the moral of that story, after all that money, is don't buy that servo. Buy the TG one, but then do get it with the aluminium servo horn, unlike myself. Yeah, so such a simple thing of a servo going too cheap. I mean, this is mid-range, so this is $30. You don't need the $65 one, as we've seen there. It's so much easier to drive. It still feels to me a bit grainy. But, you know, for a beginner now, it's a drivable car. Now, let's just add this up. So we were $162 with the servo, which was $12. So that takes us back down to $150. $30 for the new servo, so $180. And then this cost me, the thing with at the moment is our exchange rate is really good against the dollar. So this cost me £48, which is around $60. So now we're at $240 for everything here, which is now starting to mount up. But we do have in this box a receiver gyro. It might not be that great, but we've got a receiver gyro and we've got a radio that can do 10 models. So you could buy 10 more models and all you need to do is either get the 3-in-1 or the 2-in-1 that we've got in the box at the moment. So I think we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching and join us for some more small scale RC very soon.